All right. What up, footy gang? Welcome to the pod. I'm your host, Rhett, and I'm joined by a great friend today, Anthony, but I will referring to you as AG because that's how everyone knows you by. But AG, welcome onto the footy pod. Thanks for hopping on.
Right, we've come a long way here, podcasting from trade show floors to here. So thanks for having me.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought a couple years ago in Dallas where they're having games probably right now, World Cup games, that we'd be sitting here
Exactly.
today to talk about the World Cup.
From great barbecue to this to I think we talked about Man United that day or something because one of our colleagues,
Oh,
had some Man United connections. So we
there
rocked
was
out.
yeah, I think it was that. I think it was also Man City was playing in the Champions League against Real Madrid
Oh, right.
that like time that like during that week. So I remember we were like on the trade show and everyone was trying to be like, oh, we gotta get these leads. And me, you were like, can we put the game on this thing? Why are we showing a demo right now? Like,
No one was interested in what we had. So yeah, football would have been better suited for us. But anyway, yeah, too good,
100%.
too
Well,
good.
thanks for coming on. How's life in Colorado right now? How's it treating you?
Colorado is, wonderful, and I just will have to say, on a personal high from a sporting view, is having the Knicks win last week was amazing. So that's not what this is about. So we'll focus, but when it comes to saying we love the most important, least important things, following our sports team certainly is one of them, and having the Knicks win was pretty epic. So.
Yeah, and I was thinking about you the whole time. I was watching a lot of those games and trying to tune in. But honestly, like, yeah, Knicks is basketball and a little bit different, but at the same time, like, what a crazy last like 2 months of just sports has been. I
Yeah.
feel like just like I'm both of our teams. Obviously, you being a Palace fan, like
That's
Palace
right.
winning a trophy, two trophies within a full calendar year
Yeah.
basically, or 365 days, or three technically, and it's that, and then Arsenal finally getting their title, and then the Knicks getting their title. It's just I don't what's going on with are the Canes? Did the Canes win as well in the
Yeah,
NHL?
yeah, that's just, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, good for them. They won. Canes won. But
Yeah, it's just fun,
that's
like seeing
they were
some
partially in
different
your
teams.
neighborhood.
It's just fun seeing some different teams win, right? For once in a while, it's cool to refreshing a little bit to not just see some, but I don't know. 10 years ago, it was like Cavs versus the Warriors every year, and it was just like,
Well,
what's
like we
going
always
on
talk about,
here?
man, we always are like, there's everyone's into the big clubs, Arsenal, you got it done. Props to you guys. But it's nice to see some minnows squeeze in. They're an interesting story a lot of times, and of course, we can debate, Eze going to Arsenal and all that good stuff from Palace endlessly, but he got it done for you guys, helped out. But would have had a statue built for him probably if he stayed at Crystal, if we could have afforded him.
Yeah, I mean, I told you the whole time when that transfer was happening, I was like, if he's gonna go to one place, it's got to be us. It's got to be us. It can't be Tottenham. And I think that was the one of the greatest decisions he is. I don't know how much of a decision it was his. I think he threw that last Hail Mary basically at the end is what all the reports say, and it worked. So, but yeah, he's just a phenomenal player. Just a player that one of those guys that you just like watch and you're just like, oh man, like any team he goes to, he's just gonna light it up. It doesn't matter. He plays so free flowing. Incredible player, incredible person too. Great person. Does a lot with the community, from what I've read. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
cool people that do stuff like that.
Yeah, but we get to see Palace players all over the place, whether it's winning the Premier League or now in the World Cup, watching Olise just, be the puppet master in midfield, and or Kamada heading in a goal for Japan. Palace is everywhere now. We're like a name brand.
Honestly, the Palace has more players in the World Cup than Chelsea does.
That's right.
And they
So
had what was it? The Euros. Was it last year? The Nations Cup. One of either Nations Cup or Euros. Had like what, like five players in the England team or something like that at the time. It was just that because it was Eze, Gehi, Wharton, and
yeah,
then maybe like one more or something like that. But I remember just being like, there was more. Palace had like the second or one of the third most besides like Man City and some other team or
uh,
whatever.
Gahey, another guy we just pawned off. Like could have, all of these guys, all of these players, So
Exactly. Well,
but
what games have you been watching? What's really been catching your eye besides watching our good
yeah.
old Uncle Sam's out there catching
Well,
that
I,
win last
I think
week?
what's been so cool is the amount of goals, and the games have been like pretty open. A good, obviously not all of them, but a good chunk of them have been pretty wide open, and which I think is great. And I'm all for the dark horses, the coming through. Even though Senegal went down today, teams like that or Ecuador, Netherlands. I'm trying to think. There was some Japan, even South Korea. You know, just some of the next teams on the rung below. I'd love to see something like that where they can get through. Why not?
Yeah, the Senegal one was interesting because I'm so glad I wasn't the only one thinking about this and on the internet, but I was just seeing a bunch of people being like, basically this French team versus Senegal is like, it's literally like the same. Both players could play for either team. like,
Yeah,
like they can. So all the Senegal players, no French, can like most of them like have migrated over before. And like if you look at that starting lineup, I think Rabiot is like the only actual French person.
right. Well, wasn't there? Which team was it that played yesterday that had no one that was born in the country, and
Who
yet
would have played yesterday?
they were all it was some crazy stat. I don't want to like look away and start, but I remember hearing that or reading that where like one of the teams that they fielded were like all of the players were essentially not born in country, but they were all playing for the country. So anyway, I don't go put it on Snopes or something. I'm not trying to create something, but like I just remember seeing that. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's a good thing obviously when it helps your team out, but it's also a bad thing because it's like I don't know. It's interesting how you have so many choices. It's like it's like there's three different pathways you can go down. It's like where
Yeah.
I was born, okay, where I lived, and where my grandpa was born. Or my grandma, like that's literally what it is. Like it's truly like where's my ancestors from basically. And that's how the three-legged horse basically is where you can kind of go down. I mean, but like we benefit from it. Florin Balogun
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
the US team, love him, huge admirer of him whenever he's coming up through the Arsenal academy, like really good player, but born in Brooklyn, right? Born in New York. So
Yeah.
awesome. That's really cool. But also like people think, oh, he just didn't make it in the United States team. I don't, or not the United States, but the England team. And probably not. But at the same time, like he
Yeah.
also represented the U.S. team coming up. Like he was like, used to play there.
It goes back to like what we were talking about earlier. Like the question always to me is like, so Balogun, yeah, he wouldn't have been a star in England, but he could be a transformational player here in the US, right? So let's just go back and like talk about Eze again, right?
Hmm.
And I get the money, all that makes it hard. But if you're a player and you can make it work and stay at like maybe the club that's not the highest level, but you take it to that level versus you go over to a club that's got all the history and pageantry and all that. You know, what's the move? What's the preferred move? What would be the greatest impact? I mean, I get it. Money changes it, makes the conversation different, but I always think of that like some of these people can be Balogun can be transformational in the United States. He could be, if we get it, if we can get to the semifinals or something, he can be the Golden Boot winner. I mean, imagine that, versus if you never would have played for Tommy Tuchel, for sure.
Tommy Tuchel and pageantry. I've never even. I've. That's a. You're just letting me get some new words in my vocab right now. Pageantry. Who's got the most pageantry in the Prem? That's
Arsenal. Come on, you got it all. You got Anne
no, no,
Hathaway. I
no.
mean, come on.
That's true. We do have quite the gym. We have. Isn't it funny how they just come out of the rocks whenever you start doing good?
Well, there's another common thread. Spike Lee, known Nick fan, and of course Arsenal fan. I mean, who wouldn't follow? Who would? He lives right by the bar, the
Yeah.
Arsenal bar in Fort Greene. So,
He only wears the Nike jerseys because supposedly Michael Jordan would kill him
of course.
if he was wearing Adidas.
Well, going back to the thing you talked about, Balogun, like then a full 180. Like I was watching the Norway game. I love this on their jerseys. You had, for Holland, you had it said Braut Holland on his jersey, and I was like, what does that even mean? But that in Norwegian, that's like a formal way how they share their name. They put their mother's maiden name and the father's name. And so that's what he had on his jersey, which I thought was pretty cool. He had both his mom and dad's last names on his jersey. So it wasn't like Brout, like in Bratwurst or something like that. It was like his
Not to
mom's.
be confused.
Yeah, not to
Do not confuse that. He is not trying to open up a
no, but it was.
Brout shop.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, what does that even mean? But I looked it up and I thought that's really cool. You have your mom's name, but not every player had that because not every player. I know maybe not every player because there were players on the Norwegian team that were not certainly from born in Norway. They chose to play in Norway. So
It seems like not every player loves their mom. Is what I'm taking from
I
this.
mean, I think that's the moral of the story. So I mean, I gained some respect for Erling by repping his mom on his jersey. I mean, that's pretty solid. That there's
He's a
something
fantastic
to
personality.
that.
He's got a really good personality. I feel like he's fierce and he's a dog out there, but he's also just like, he'll give you, I feel like the type of guy, like when you're on the field and you make eye contact with him, it's like very hard not to like just laugh or something, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling when he's on your team, just dominating. I mean, seriously, just yeah.
Yeah. I do wish, and maybe this is just me, but I just am not. The man bun is really hard for me to get behind. It's so tough for me to be like, that's that's the guy right there. But it's like, oh, the man. But like Zlatan did it, and I guess he was kind of
Mhm.
successful with it. I don't know. I think he just pulled it off a little bit better.
Well, I can respect it in a player more than I could a coach. Like there were some coaches repping man buns now, so that's I like it. I like it more in my players than I do in a coach.
Me too. I think when it comes to the coach, it's hard to. It's like, come on,
Yeah, you
telling me
go.
to hide press, and you've
So
got that.
if you were a coach, what would be your style on the sideline? What would be your look? What would
Oh, my
be
look.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go here. You're you're a world class coach. What is Rhett rocking on the sideline? What's your style? What do you got?
Probably some baggy jeans. I'm probably sagging. I've got some obscure shirt. No, I would be 100%. I would have to like dress up. I'd have to like have not a suit, but I would have to. I'm such a firm believer of look good, feel good.
Okay, yeah.
Like that to me is like when you've got some type of nice pants on, nice shirt. I don't. It doesn't. I'm not saying a suit. I'm not saying a jacket, but it'd be one. I would be totally one of those guys. It's like, hey, if you get to a final, I'd wear a jacket.
Hmm.
Like that's what they used to do back in the day too. I like that tradition where, Sir Alex and those guys like they get to a final, like they'd have the club badge on their
Yeah.
sport coat, and so yeah, that would be me. What about you?
Yeah, oh, I was figuring you were gonna go like the Mikel kind of look. But I like the. I was always I would like the look of the jacket with the non-tie and the nice shirt underneath, and the nice slacks. Good. I think I'd go a little I up level like that. I think that's what I'd shoot for. That'd be my style.
I think in wedding world they call that cocktail.
Cocktail. Oh, all right. Well, I would be
It's my
okay. A little more
favorite.
cocktail style. I like that. Okay. Yeah.
I'm a big cocktail. I see cocktail on. I'm in wedding world over here, and with my age, and like I see cocktail, I'm like,
You
no
like that?
tie, no
Okay.
way. I'm not wearing a tie. Oh yeah, it's so
Okay.
comfortable.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
is really really nice.
But
Um,
then you could take another level. And are you planning on are you sitting on a bucket? Are you kind of pacing? What is, then you could take it from there. What's the next level? Okay.
sitting on a bucket,
Well,
like Bielsa,
yeah,
like
exactly. I
Uruguay.
mean, actually, he was on a cooler
Yeah, yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. He does
He
something.
kind of upped
It's
his
all.
game, you know. So,
Infantino said, "Listen, we got you. Don't worry. You want a
and
cappuccino as well?"
speaking of, not to belay, but crest to coast, did you see Infantino had a FIFA emblazoned jacket? That was his look. So just
Mm,
like great clubs or countries, he has his own FIFA brand jacket and stuff. So
classic.
yeah, so
Great guy.
great man. He deserves it.
That just and that's a perfect segue for our sponsor today, FIFA.
Yeah, exactly. Brought to you this show brought to you by FIFA.
That's right.
Actually, I
Yeah,
need a
that.
hydration break. Right, let me take a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
break. So
That's I had that written down too. I mean, the funny I just can't believe every single time they go to a hydration break, they go, "It's time for a hydration break," but it's only 75. They
I
just
thought
like someone
they
says something.
interviewed Big Virgil van Dijk about that, and I thought it was just like it was the most simple, sane response. He's like, I don't know why we every game it has to happen. Like, why can't it just be a game by game call? It was like the simplest, most obvious thing, and he said it so simply. And he goes, "That's all I can say on this." Like, we don't need it every game, but
They this is what they did. They're like, David Beckham, we're gonna give you some games in Miami, and it's
yeah,
gonna be hot as hell. So to make sure that, but we can't just have it in Miami where people get water breaks or in
mhm,
Dallas or in Atlanta, only there and or Mexico, whatever. So let's just make it all around.
yeah,
Even though in Boston it's gonna be 75 degrees, it's gonna be perfect weather to play a game, literally perfect weather. So and they were like, oh well, if we're gonna do it for every game, let's bring in the dough. Let's just bring it in. Let's put. I wish it should be a drinking game for if you see a commercial with Messi or David Beckham, you got to drink, and
yeah.
you'd be hammered by halftime.
So my big heroes of it have been whoever the guy or gal who came up with the idea. That as a salesperson, they probably made buku dollars. Like someone sitting in some marketing meeting was like, "I got an idea." That person, made a ton of money off of that. So good for that person. But the but honestly, I've been watching Telemundo, and Telemundo doesn't cut away, which is kind of cool. They just stay and they don't cut to commercials and they kind of show up highlights or something. So it's even more entertaining than
Telemundo. Does that mean you're watching this in Espanol?
yeah, because I could kind of get I kind of can gather who the players are. I don't need the commentary.
Wait, I didn't know this. I didn't know you were watching the whole thing. Are you doing that on purpose?
Yeah, just like right now, I got it on Telemundo. I mean, and plus they got some passion in that. They bring it, you know.
Yeah.
Although I miss Rebecca Lowe, but Rebecca Lowe can only do so many great things with the cast of characters she's surrounded by. So
And she what a cast she's surrounded by. I was gonna say she's got two fantastic, players and one just, one
yeah,
guy that just a little troublemaker, the kid in the back.
Yeah.
He's shooting spitballs at the teacher,
Uh-huh. That's
and
good.
everyone's like, "Come on, man,
You're
we're just
put
trying to learn the lesson.
yeah.
We follow the rules."
Yeah, you're being kind. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. They've already been kind of chirping at each other just a little bit, like just like smart remarks and stuff like that. Like Zlatan just said, I think he just said it today. You were talking about Alexi was like, "Oh, we Thierry Henry and Landon Donovan got into it a little bit, and and they were talking about the word like arrogance or something like that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, but this France team has." He was like, Alexi was like, "This France team really has some arrogance to them, and like they brought it out in the second half, and they won 3-1." And Zlatan was like, only an idiot would, or something like that. Like only an idiot would call that arrogance. It's confidence." And they were like, Rebecca's like, "All right, we're cutting to a commercial."
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Thierry Henry just sits there like and has to
He just
bite
says
his
this.
tongue. It just is like I can't believe what I'm going through. But
No. Yeah.
because he's so passionate. He's had so much success, and he's failed, and he's seen both sides, and he's failed in the in the MLS, right? He was so
I think so. I don't know if he won the MLS
Toronto.
Cup with.
Did he win, or
I
did
don't. I
he?
don't. I don't know. I don't know if he did. I think he did. I have a feeling he did, but I just don't know. I never really checked, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. Mandami made a street his name for just the month and a half that the World Cup's going down. Mandami made like one of the streets is Thierry Henry Ave or Lane or probably Ave,
Well,
but
he's a big Arsenal guy, so he's been having it, enjoying that too. So
yeah.
he's had a good he's had a good few months with his teams. Yeah.
Yeah, he has. It's honestly, that's a cool my favorite part about him, and I do love, obviously, yeah, it's an Arsenal fan, but he's not just, oh, I just, my team's Arsenal, and they're like, well, why? And they're like, oh, not really a good reason. I had a buddy brought me into a game one time. It's not that. It's like you can tell by his like knowledge that he was in the dark ages. Like he was in our bad times whenever we were just doing terrible. Like
Yeah.
he can throw out like an obscure player name that you've never heard of. And he's like, "Yeah, I watched that guy get his debut." And you'd be like, "What? What in 2009?" He's like, "Yeah."
Hmm.
It's
He's got some depth.
crazy.
Yeah, he's got
He's
some
got some
depth.
serious ball knowledge, yeah, which is cool. So what we we really haven't talked about games, I guess, so far. I mean, the USA game. Were you able to? What games have you been able to watch so far?
Well, I saw the France game today. The France Senegal had that one on. Just watched the Iraq Norway game. That was really good. Saw the Germany game against Curacao, which whatever. But the Japan game was the Japan's who they played. They played Netherlands, right? Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was solid. And then last night the New Zealand game with Iran was pretty great. Chris Wood was like dominant, just controlling the game, and as a right in the center of the field. It was fun. It was just I was like, I know that guy. Oh yeah, it's Chris Wood. Look at that. So I mean, again, all fun, open games. I thought they were entertaining for the most part.
Oh yeah. My one take that I've had on the game so far is that first of all, we've been absolutely brainwashed by the Prem this season, and we're finally watching real
Yeah,
football, and we're like kids again. We're like, oh, what a great sport this is.
yeah,
But second of all, this so far, like the last like 3 or 4 days, there was a lot of ties.
yes,
And my take was it was kind of interesting on the fact that like there was a lot of there was a lot of back and forth. Or I think a prime example would be Belgium versus Egypt. Egypt scores first,
yeah, yeah.
and then you're like, okay, but you're like, come on, Belgium's gonna come back. Belgium's gonna put something, gonna get at least one goal most likely. They get their goal, and it just doesn't really feel like they're gonna get another.
Mm.
And like the full whistle goes, and you're like, okay, I know you guys wanted to win, but it doesn't really feel like you threw it out there and just really threw the kitchen sink at it for an analogy's sakes.
No, and it's so rare in these tournaments, especially with you might have seen that if there were less more teams getting knocked out. I mean, what the next round you only out of the 48 teams, only 12, what's it, 16 get knocked out, right? So they go into that. So
Yeah.
it's not, it's not like everybody wants to risk losing. It's like I get a point, and if I win a game, I'm good. Like that's kind of I think the mentality. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I mean, there's so few teams get knocked out in this round comparatively. It's not half the field. There's only so it's a third of the field.
Yeah. I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, I just would want to be like to get that first win though, or just be like, we're so close, right? It's tied. We
Yeah,
can just go get
yeah,
the win, and then we like. I'm not saying you relax, but like, it's a weight off your chest. You're like, you got that first win, and it builds momentum too. It's like, hey, we won. So like, that's what
hmm
I was kind of thinking. I thought with the Netherlands game, I thought with the Belgium game, I thought with, um, man, there was another tie game, and I'm blanking on it. But there was one more. It was not the Germany game, but there was one more tie, one more tie in there.
Oh,
No,
the Cape
Spain.
Verde game. Come on, there you go.
That was cool. What a cool. See, that's just where even is Cape Verde? I have no idea. Serious.
No, but I like it's like you said, the goalkeeper has what more Instagram followers and who was it like Travis Kelsey? Who'd you list out? You'd give me
Patrick
that.
Mahomes,
Patrick
Victor
Mahomes, Victor
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama. I mean, what? That was amazing.
That was like 48 hours ago too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a slap in the face to those guys. They see that and they go, "Come on!" But that just goes to show this sport people do not understand. Especially being in the U.S., you just don't get it. You don't get how big this thing is. Like
Yeah. I will say
it's
some of
next
the funny
level.
things of like watching people who are here visiting and like the foods they've found and are eating, like, going to the Waffle House or going to Boot Bucky's or something like that. Like you see like seeing all these clips of people eating at these places that they, would not have in Europe or in South America and just loving it. That's kind of funny. There's some good stuff out there on that.
Did you watch that video I sent you earlier about the French guy talking about brisket?
Yeah. Yeah, just enjoying it, man. Just although, for all the pain it must be to get to these stadiums, like because they're so spread out, you know, good on everybody to, it looks like it's been a great experience. Although I did see the people who had to leave in the games and like the Brazil game in New Jersey Stadium, not to be confused with MetLife Stadium, right? But I guess it took like 3 hours or so for people to get like out of the stadium into like the shuttles they were taking back into the city. It was just like a nightmare. Although some would say that could be like a regular day, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's if that's one thing. I think it's there's no way we were never gonna be ready for that infrastructure, and it's just impossible. It doesn't matter if you're going to one of the biggest and greatest cities of all time, even a city like New York, um, which I think New York has decent transportation when you don't own a car. I think it's pretty easy to get around, but again, those stadiums are not where downtown. So like
No, it's
you're not getting that access nearly the same. And I don't know how the rails work to go to New Jersey. I've never ventured over, but yeah, it's never gonna work out like that.
Yeah, good stuff. Although I have to say the stadiums, the are just so phenomenal. They're so modern in comparison to many European or South American stadiums, which are totally different. But like they show's great on television. It's amazing, and I think overall people are probably loving it. When they're in those stadiums, just the big screens and all that. It's just like a whole. It's been pretty cool to see.
Oh, 100%. I think they've seen what it means when they say this has been Americanized.
You get your
They love
hydration break,
screens.
but you get your really cool stadiums and your big screens and your $28. What was the taller boys, the cores, the taller
Oh,
boys,
yeah.
not the tall boys, the taller boys. You get those, so
The Rocky staple right there. They got to bring those to the Colorado Rockies games. Come on.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
what people are going to the games for. They're not going to watch the Rockies anymore.
no, yeah, but like there's only so many games you can go to where you say, "Oh, it's such a great view, isn't it here?" And here in Coors Field, it's so nice, and they still, are awful. So there's only so many games you can just go to because it's a nice setting.
Yeah, when you actually see the mountains in the background, you're like, man, this is what we're
Yeah.
here for. And then the away team just slams a home run.
Yeah. So what's your prediction here? Do you think the game's coming up? You got like Argentina. You think England's going to show up? What's your the big dogs that are still left to play here?
The big dogs, you're right. So England, Croatia tomorrow. Who is Argentina playing?
Argentina is playing here in a little bit. They are playing Algeria, right? Yeah, I think
Here in a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's 9 p.m. See, I'm a senior citizen. That's bedtime. I eat dinner at 4:30.
which might be,
Bed.
yeah. You're ready to go. You're ready to tuck yourself in. But the cool thing about no Argentina, which I don't know if you saw, is like they Algeria was playing. They're preparing for the matches in Lawrence, Kansas. I don't know if you saw this. This was probably one of the coolest things so far I've seen. So they were preparing on the campus of Kansas, KU, University of Kansas, and all the locals and the school band, they like learn the Algerian national anthem. They like got all around supporting the team, and then I guess they've been saying, rock chalk Algeria. So I think that is pretty spectacular. I mean, that is probably one of the coolest things I've heard so far. I mean, that is a nice step up for people really embracing, the World Cup or embracing, what's going on. So it's pretty cool.
Rock chalk Algeria.
Rock
What does
chalk
rock chalk
Algeria.
even mean? What does that even mean?
So in Kansas, that's the big phrase, rock chalk Jayhawk, right?
Mm,
That is like, the everyone. But now forget Jayhawk, rock chalk Algeria. Get on board.
rock chalk Jayhawk. See, you learn something new every day. I,
Yeah.
my assumption when I think about Kansas, I think about John Calipari immediately. He coached there, right? It was
No,
Kansas.
no, no.
No,
He
no,
was
no. It was Memphis. It was
losing coach
Memphis.
to when they won the national championship, John Calipari.
Oh.
So
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. No,
yeah,
he coached at Memphis. That's what it
yeah,
was, and that's when he
exactly.
had who did he have there whenever
Derrick
he was at
Rose.
Memphis? Yeah, D
Yeah.
Rose.
And he showed his coaching acumen that night as he blew that game late, and there was a lot of missed free throws. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
more in our house. That's Amy's school, so that's we cherish that moment here in our
yeah, really.
house.
I was at Goodwill. I was actually at Goodwill over the weekend. There was a Purdue shirt. I should have sent you a picture of it
Oh,
because I was just skimming through looking for. I'm always looking for a Gamecock shirt, and I can't find it. It's like there's only Clemson stuff in there. I'm like, get this
oh,
out of here, man.
right.
The worst. So I'm like, there. Give me. I'm just shuffling through, and there's a Purdue shirt. And I'm like, boiler up, and then I just
There you
kept on
go.
going.
There you go. Fun
But
stuff.
yeah, I think so, so Algeria is got the only player I really know that plays for them is who's the guy that used to play for Mahrez, right?
Oh, Riyad Mahrez, yeah,
I
for
think he
Leicester,
plays for them.
Is
right? Talk
wow,
about.
yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if he
I don't,
actually
what,
still
he,
plays there or
I don't know
not.
if he still play. I mean, again, I think a lot of these, African teams, they could
He's
surprise
on
you.
the
And then
team.
I think the last time Argentina won, I think they lost in like their first game.
They
So
did. They
so
lost to Saudi Arabia.
yeah. So you know, anything's possible.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so honestly, I'm looking at this Algeria team, and you would be shocked on Zinedine Zidane's son is the goalkeeper.
Real? Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Huh.
Ait Nori, the guy that plays for Man City, he's a left
Yep.
back.
Yep.
Um, there's not many other people in that starting lineup, but Riyad Mahrez is on the bench, which is
Okay.
crazy. And Huzam Oar, who used to play for Olympique Lyon, I only know him because he was a transfer subject for a while at Arsenal, but he's on that team too. Which I knew he was French actually, so he must have said, "Hey, I do not want to play for France." So this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a
Yeah.
really
Well,
good game,
stay up. You
honestly.
could, you should watch it. It should be a good one if you're awake. Keep yourself awake for the next.
I mean, I get an I need an espresso or something
Come
like
on,
that,
this
and
is
get a
perfect. This is probably one of the. There are many great reasons to live in Colorado, but for watching sports, it is the best time zone. It is,
It
perfect.
really is.
Because now I can, got these two games, be fine.
Oh yeah, I I remember being when I was out there and spent that month out there when I lived there, and I remember just being like, wow, this is what a great spot, dude.
But we don't want to talk about it. We don't, because of the thousands of people who will be eventually listening to this. We don't want them to move out here.
It's
We
true.
just want to keep it on the DL.
It is pretty washed at this point. Let the viewers know in the future that Colorado. I think you could all should all go to Wyoming,
Yes, forget it.
Casper,
Do not come
Wyoming.
here. Do not come here. Go to Lawrence, Kansas, or something like that.
Lawrence.
Rock Chalk, Algeria. I mean, come on. There you go.
That's true. You know what? And those people, passionate fans, you gotta have some passionate fans for people to, and you just know how many people who don't give a damn about soccer.
Yeah,
In this summer, they were like, "Well, we got the World Cup coming our to our stadium here in
yeah.
Kansas. Why not? Why not go ahead and find a team or have some
And
fun
both,
with it?"
and also both England and I think Argentina are in Kansas City, Kansas, area. So they did pretty well. That for them, getting some powerhouses.
It should be required that they watch The Wizard of Oz before they play there. Dorothy.
Exactly. Yes, for sure.
The legendary quote. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to figure something out here and with games. I feel like for all the viewers that don't know, we usually me AG and AG is actually the commish of one of our leagues from the Prem this summer. For in the Prem, we usually do little not real betting, but bets on games. But you're doing one for the summer, right? Do you have a full league for it?
Yeah, we have a World Cup one going, and so there's 10 squads in the mix, and I called every draw yesterday, so I've had an incredible first week here, but it's early. Not going to tout it just yet, but
Just putting the facts out there.
just throwing out there for the breadcrumbs so people can pick up on it. But it's a perfect mindless, mindless league to be in.
Yeah. I really did think pretty hard about joining it, but I don't know what it was, but I was like, I don't know if it was just my team just stressing me out this whole Prem season, but I was like, oh, I felt exhausted at the end. And I was getting so many picks wrong. I was like, I can't even get one of these damn things right for one. I was like, I must have just had the luck of the first timers luck last season or something like that. I think I finished
You know,
fourth.
but it's perfect. It's perfect chatter, and it's perfect. Keeps your head in the game, so to speak. I don't know. It's a good distraction. It's probably and it's no cost. Costs you what, $9 if you to pick somebody else's jersey if they win. So it's good.
Yeah, which is a good cause, honestly. I
Yeah.
will. One of my favorite moments from this season was I. It was a Saturday morning, and I think I would just gone from a run or something like that. I was with my wife in the car, and I remember looking at my phone, and she was like talking to me. She was talking to me about something, and being a good husband, I was not listening, and I was looking at my phone, and I just go out of nowhere. I was just like, like, oh my gosh, like no, and she was like, she gripped the wheel, and she was like, what's going on? I was just like, I missed two picks this morning. I missed two picks this morning on my game, and she was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta, that's gotta be way more serious than that." I was like, "No, this is serious. I'm gonna get a text about this."
Yeah.
5 minutes later, text from you, "Huh? Missed two picks this morning. You gotta wake up, whatever." And I was like, "See,
There
look
you
at
go.
this."
Yeah. So I apologize to your wife there for, changing your focus. But again, I think there's a separate podcast there about listening skills and being a good husband and all that. So well, you could go listen to that somewhere else. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of those mindless distractions. Will have to decrease as you go forward.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, I guess before we sign off, AG, I need to know who is your real deal, true dark horse for the tournament.
I'm
Since you've
all
watched a lot of games now, you've got a lot of games on your belt now
much.
too.
I'd like to see I've always orange has always been my favorite color. That they've come so close. They've got great players. I think they've got a coach who's a legend there, Coleman. Why not them? They could have won any number of other times. And plus, their fans are fun. They've got the
Yeah,
bus. I mean, shoot, they've got the whole package. Seriously, if you could have one team win in this country, I think it'd be great. Unless it was the U.S., okay. Um, I think I'd go all in on the Dutch.
the Dutch. I like it. It's a good pick. Well, we have to keep on following it, and we'll have to have you on again, and then we'll
Sure.
review how the performances are going.
And I'm just going to say, I'm going to throw this out there for people listening. Props to you for doing this. I know you love football. I know you love talking about this, and hopefully we didn't sound stilted talking because I know we talk like this all, a lot. So now we're being, filmed, but props to you for taking something you love and doing something around it that, makes you happy and just you do it for the love of it, and that's pretty impressive. So, cheers to you, props to you for doing something like this. I'm truly impressed.
Well, thank you. It makes it easy whenever you're doing something that you actually just enjoy doing. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to 8 o'clock on the East Coast to do this. It's seriously like, and it's just like such a fun time to have people like you, my friends, to come on and
Cool.
actually just like talk, do the same thing that we were already doing. We were already gonna do this. We were already gonna have a conversation. I was already gonna probably call you this Friday and talk
Yeah.
about this, catch up, talk about this anyway. So why not just do it on the pod? And honestly, like, yeah, I just think it's really fun, and I just kept on thinking in my head. I don't know why I've been so stuck in my head, but I'm like, I need to have the intro to my pod. It needs to just be "Ramble On" from Led Zeppelin.
There you go. See, now you
'Cause-
got to step it up. I expect to see music, background behind you, some kind of props and things. I mean, it's progress. A little bit at a time. Crawl, walk, run.
That's right, Carl Walkman. Well, cool. Well, AG, thanks so much for hopping on. I
All right, my
appreciate it.
man.
Footy gang, we're signing off. All right.
All right. See ya.